Hi, I'm Amy Wood. Unfortunately, at Tuesday's meeting, February the 19th, I forgot to record myself going over the basic GE information, so you get a reenactment of that speech. So bear with me as I try to do this by looking at myself, which is really weird. First of all, dual enrollment classes are for students that are interested in receiving college and high school credit at the same time. Because it is for students that are looking to receive college and high school credit at the same time, we need a specific type of student to go into DE. Those students are self-disciplined. They are going to be able to troubleshoot on their own. Now, of course, we'll be here to help, and Chat State and Bryan College and all the other colleges that we work with will be willing to help as well. But they need to take that first step in that initiative. They need to make sure that they're meeting deadlines, that they're turning their homework in on time, that they're studying for tests in advance, that they're not just putting things off into the very last minute. Good work ethics. They need to make sure that they're showing up to their classes, that they're going to be logging on to their computers in a timely manner. Just students that take school seriously are the best kind of students for a dual enrollment class. March the 22nd is the deadline for dual enrollment. So make sure that you mark in your calendar March the 22nd. That gives you a little over a month, a little under a month, to get those turned in. But it gives you plenty of time. Ray County High School requires a 3.0 GPA because, again, we're looking for that serious student. We're looking for someone that does good in school. And I understand that there are some students that just don't test well. But we do require that 3.0 GPA. We require a 19 ACT score. However, and that's a composite score. However, we highly recommend a 21. It is our experience that if you do not have that 21 ACT composite score, students tend to lose their dual enrollment grant because they do not make the grade that is required to maintain that. And I'll get into that a little bit in a moment. So we do require a 19 ACT composite score. However, we highly recommend a 21. Each class has subscores that have to be met, and they're very specific to that class. So again, we'll kind of go over that a little bit in here in a minute. What else have I missed? April's ACT is the last ACT that we will accept to see if you qualify for dual enrollment. That last day to sign up for that is March the 8th. March the 8th, I'll make sure, yes. March the 8th is the last day to sign up for April's ACT. April's ACT is the last opportunity that you have to qualify for dual enrollment classes. If you are 18 and you're going to be taking dual enrollment classes from Chattanooga State, you need to make sure that you get them a driver's license. And that means that you turn 18 anytime during that semester. So if you don't turn 18 till like December the 1st, because that is in the middle of the semester, not the middle, but it is in that semester, you are responsible for getting them a copy of your driver's license. Then there is, if you are 18 and you are male, you have to sign up for selective service. And that website is sss.org. So 3s's.org. Again, online course registration is March the 22nd. The DE grant that I mentioned before. If you will come by the counseling office, we do have handouts for you to be able to figure out what the website is. You need to go on. Make sure that when you make your account, you go back in and actually apply for the grant under scholarships. We have so many students that make that account and think they're done, and you're not. Also, this will be the same place that you will apply for the Tennessee Promise. So I highly recommend that you write down or take a a screenshot, something of that username and password, because you will need that again. You will also need that if you're a sophomore going to be a junior next year and you want to take senior DE classes, you're going to need that username and password. So again, please document that username and password somewhere. The way the dual enrollment grant works, your first dual enrollment grant or dual enrollment class, you get $500. Your second dual enrollment class, you get $500. Your third dual enrollment class, you get $200. Your fourth dual enrollment class, you get nothing. So make sure that you plan accordingly. If you decide to take dual enrollment classes through Bryan, starting with the fourth course or the fourth class, they will give you a $200 scholarship per class after that, up to, I believe, 8. But that's only with Bryan College. After your fourth, you can start dipping into your Hope scholarships for 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's called an enhanced grant. So that is something that if you have done all your 4, starting with your 5th through 8th, you can receive an enhanced grant, which dips into your Hope. If you know for sure you're gonna take advantage of that Tennessee Promise, by all means, dip into that enhanced grant. My recommendation is if you're gonna go straight to a 4-year college, kind of hold off on that enhanced grant, because college credits are going to be more expensive at the 4-year school than they are at the 2-year schools. So you might want to go ahead and pay the cheaper rate now and save that Hope scholarship for when you get to the 4-year schools. Just my recommendation. You must have the ACT, the required ACT scores, before the DE grant deadline to get that grant. I believe that grant is June something. But you have to make sure you get those ACT scores beforehand. And that goes back to April's ACT is the last one. That ensures that we get those ACT scores back to make sure you're eligible for the grant. Also, it makes sure that we get those scores back before the end of the semester when there's nobody here to make sure that you do qualify. To continue to be eligible for the DE grant, you have to have a 7.25 college GPA. At most colleges, if you make a B-, that's only a 2.7, and that's a B-. So to be eligible for the dual enrollment grant, you need at least a 2.75 college GPA. I think I told you right on that. I think I told you right on the B-. Selecting your DE classes, it is your responsibility to make sure that the classes that you select are the ones that will benefit you. You're going to be a college student. When you take these dual enrollment classes, you are considered part college. So it is part of that responsibility to make sure that you're selecting those classes. You go, if you know what school you want to go to, if you know what major you want to take, you go to that school's website, let's say UTC, and you want to major in biology. You will go to the UTC's website, you will look under the biology, and then you will look under, sometimes it's called a course schedule, sometimes it's called a plan, but you will be able to find it. If you can't find it, call that department, and they can at least direct you, if not give you the answers. Pre-cal is not required for every major. Everybody thinks, I gotta take pre-cal. You do not have to take pre-cal. Most of the time, nursing does not need pre-cal. It wants stats. Education, a lot of times, does not want pre-cal. They want stats. So, again, it is your responsibility to make sure that you are signing up for the classes that will benefit you. You must have a 3.0 GPA for all dual enrollment classes. You must have a 19 composite ACT. Again, we recommend a 21. Okay, now bear with me. It gets a little tricky here. Pre-Cal 1. If you do pre-cal through Chattanooga State, you will take 1 and 2. If you do pre-cal through Bryan, you will just take pre-cal. Bryan has taken both pre-cal 1 and 2 and lumped them together into one class. So if that's the way you want to go, that's where you'll go. If you want to go to Chat State, you will take 2 classes, pre-cal 1 and pre-cal 2. Now, the requirements for pre-cal 1 through Chat State or pre-cal through Bryan are as follows. 21 math sub-score on your ACT and a 19 reading sub-score on your ACT. Pre-cal 2 only through Chattanooga State. 24 math sub-score ACT a 19 reading subscore ACT, or have completed Pre-Cal 1. So Pre-Cal 2, you can either meet those subscores or you can complete Pre-Cal 1. Statistics for both schools. Well, no, take that back. Statistics for Chattanooga State, a 19 math subscore. Statistics for a 19 reading. So statistics, Chattanooga State, 19 math, 19 reading subscores. For Bryan, a 22 ACT subscore and a 19 reading ACT subscore. Again, there's a difference there. Stats, Chattanooga State, 19 math, 19 reading. Bryan, 22 math, 19 reading. And here's where it gets funny again. Calculus 1 through Chattanooga State, a 26 math subscore ACT and a 19 reading subscore ACT, or you've completed Pre-Cal 2. For Chattanooga State, calculus, you need a 26 math, 19 reading subscore, or completed Pre-Cal 2. For Bryan, you need to have completed their Pre-Cal, or Pre-Cal 1 and 2 through Chattanooga State. So if you took Pre-Cal 1 this year, juniors, and you want to take calculus at Bryan, you have to complete Pre-Cal 2 through Chat State first and then transfer over to Bryan. So I know this is confusing, so if you have questions, holler at me. And then comp. It requires a 19 reading subscore and an 18 English subscore. If you take DE English fall semester, you have to take DE English spring semester. So you're looking at least a $500 class, or around $500 for fall and around $500 for spring. So you need to make sure that when you're looking at your grant and your money, that you keep that in mind. If you take fall DE English, you have to take spring DE English. And it needs a 19 reading subscore and an 18 English subscore. If you decide to drop a dual enrollment class, you have to tell that college, whether it's Chat State, Rowan State, Cleveland State, wherever you're taking your dual enrollment, you have to tell that college. You also have to inform me. And then for the seniors next year, you can either tell me and I'll communicate that with Miss Arnold, or you can talk to Miss Arnold. Now, some disclaimers. Regardless of what school it is, regardless of what they call it, middle college, dual enrollment, early college, these requirements are the requirements. We cannot go below a school's requirements, but we can go above a school's requirements, and that's what we're choosing to do because we have a high standard, we have excellent students, and we want to maintain that level of integrity. So we have our own requirements, regardless of what the colleges tell you. We have our requirements. And again, regardless of what it's called, dual enrollment, middle college, early college, whatever it is, it's all dual enrollment. The primary schools that we use are Bryan College and Chattanooga State for dual enrollment, and then we have a few students that do Rowan State for the middle college. The CNA program is a dual enrollment credit as well. They have their own set of requirements. Once a student takes sales in the fall and they've met all the requirements through that class, then they have their own set of requirements for dual enrollment in the spring. I think that is all. I know I went through all that pretty fast. There is a handout in the counseling office. It's a bright neon, make you want to pop your eyes out, yellow. Feel free to come get it. It's on the gray bookcase outside my office. If you need to get in touch with me, my email address is wooda@raycounty.org. I hope to have the handouts from Bryan College and Chat State up online about the same time I put this video up there. If you want to check out my website, it's rchs.raycounty.org/wood-A. And then you can find the videos under files, I think, or links. You can find the videos under links. I do have the presentation from Bryan College and the presentation from Chattanooga State already up. And then any kind of handouts you can find under, I think that one's files. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to holler at me. Thank you.